Hi guys. First of all, apologies. I was not able to upload video for quite some time now. So I set a pretty ambitious target when I started this. I thought that weekly I'll be able to at least upload one video, but now I've realized that I'll not be finding much time since most of my time is occupied with work. So yeah, anyway, we'll directly jump into the video solving this guesstimate. And what I have done is I have provided the whole solution upfront in one single view. So if you want to just pause the video, go through the look at the solution and solve it yourself, that is also fine. No need to go through the whole video and waste your time. And if you want to go, let's say, step by step and want to understand the thinking behind it, then you can just go through the whole video. Okay, so suit yourself, whatever works for you. Yeah. So today we'll be solving number of schools in Mumbai. So the question is estimate the number of schools in Mumbai. Okay. Now once I get this question, first of all, the first step is to scope this question. That what do we need to calculate actually? Okay. So I have mentioned some of the clarifying question. It can be even more. Some more question you can add here. And as of now, when I'm explaining this, I got 2 3 more questions in my mind. So yeah, first is we need to ask whether we need to consider only the government school or private school or both schools. Okay. So let's say we are considering both government and private schools. Then we have also seen that there are some schools in which only primary classes are there, like play schools. And there are some schools which are up till 10th, I think, and after that they call it junior college. So do we need to consider that also? Okay, so this totally depends on your interviewer whether he asks you to consider this or not. And then third is NGO based schools. So do we need to consider it? Why I have put it here? Because most of the NGO schools do not have a establishment as such. So the since the infra is not there, and most of the teachers are also not permanent employees as such. Uh, so the number of students, number of teachers working with them, they all keep changing. So although they exist, so do we need to consider that also while estimating? So these are few of the questions. Okay. Now, uh, once I have clarified this, I need to define a top level strategy. When I say top level strategy, I just need to get a sense that what all are the broad variables for which, if I am able to derive a value, I'll be able to come up with the number of schools in Mumbai. Okay, so I can see that number of schools in Mumbai is equal to number of students going to school divided by average number of students per school. This is a very simple formula. Okay, so this basically helps you in getting some level of clarity in your mind that what will you be pursuing uh, as you go forward with this case, or let's say guesstimate. It also tells the interviewer that you have some structure in your mind to begin with. Okay, and let's say interviewer wants to add something here only. He says that no, uh, I do not want you to do it like this. Rather, I would like you to maybe take some other approach. Okay, so maybe I want to take approach in such a way that how many number of schools we can open, or something like that. I just took a random example. It might not be the best example to give, but yeah, something like that. So better is to just mention this upfront and then take the buy-in from the interviewer that can you pursue this. Okay, yeah. So now what, once we have written down this formula, first I'll be going into number of student going to school. Okay, so how to calculate this? Again, what I have done is I have taken a top down approach. So the population of Mumbai is 20 million. Okay, and what I have done is since India is a young country, so most of our population is below the age of 35. Okay, I think 60% of our population is below the age of 35. I don't remember exactly, but yeah, something like that. So what I have assumed is that people falling in range, people having age till 25 years is 50%, and people belonging to 25 years and above is 50%. Okay, so this is a very simplistic partitioning I have done. Okay, so you can maybe pursue this, and if you have any better idea you can do that also, so no problem as such. Okay, yeah. So 10 million 25 plus age group, and 10 million till 25 age group. Okay, now what I have done is, just for my understanding, what I did was, I split this age group. I was splitting this age group till 25 into three uh, uh, different parts. So less than 4, 4 to 18, and 18 to 25. Now 4 to 18 is the age group which will actually go to school. Okay, and 18 to 25 is will basically go to college, and less than 4 cannot go to school only. Okay, so this is what I have considered. So yeah, so now how to arrive from this 10 million for this whole age group till 25 to 14 to 18 years of age group. Okay, so what I have assumed is, I've made an assumption that this 10 million is is spread equally across each age. So 10 people belonging to 1 year of age is equal to people belonging to 2 year of age, or people falling under 3 years of age. So like that, I have distributed it flat. Okay, equally among each age figure. Okay, so now for each age figure, how many people will be falling in that age figure? So to estimate that, 10 million upon from 1 year to 25 years. So 10 million upon 25, 4 lakh. Okay, now people falling in 4 to 18 years of age group. So if you so how many distinct age figures are there? 18 minus 4 plus 1, since we are including 4 also. So 18 minus 4 plus 1, that is 15. And for each age figure, there are 4 lakh student falling under it. Sorry, not student. There are 4 lakh people falling under it. So 4 lakh into 15, that is 16 million. 16 million. Okay, so I have made a mistake here. It is 60 lakh. Cannot be 60 million other. Yeah. So it is 60 lakh. So yes, so one more thing is there. Better to keep it in same unit. So if you see here, what I have done is, I started with million, million, billion terms, and then I change it to lakhs. So it gets confusing. So my bad. Uh, so I would suggest you that, since this figure is controllable, so when I say controllable, it is some crores to start with. So better to keep it in crores, and then lakhs, and then thousand. And when you are considering, let's say, India's population, then you can start with million, because it is more handy. Okay. So yeah, I mean, apologies. Here I have done some mistake. So anyway, so 60 lakh people is our target, are, is falling in our target range, and these are eligible to go to school. Okay, now, even though these are eligible, not everyone will have access to education. Okay, so then our next filter comes, where we'll be dividing this total 60 lakh people based on income. So again, I have splitted it in high, medium, low, and I have taken 10% for high, 30% for medium, and 60% for low. And so this is simple percentages. 10% of 60 is 6 lakhs, 18 lakhs 30%, 60% is 36 lakhs. So once we get this figure, that these are the number of eligible people falling in high, medium, and low category, income category. Okay. Now we do understand that uh, our country is a patriarchal society. I mean, it is no secret as such. There is a good gap between access to education, not only based on income but also based on gender. Okay, so we need to bring that part also into picture. So next, what we have done is we have just splitted this number eligible people under each income group. We have splitted this number into male and female. So, and the split we have considered is 50-50% male female. So we have splitted this, and what we have done is in the high income group, I have taken an assumption that both male and female will be having 100% access to education. And when I say education, I'm just considering that everybody will be going to school. So there might be a case that they are homeschooled also, but for the sake of this exercise, I'm taking that number to be negligible, and I'm assuming that everybody in high income group is going to school. Okay. Again, you can bounce this off with your interviewer, and if he says you to, if we ask you to take homeschooling also into consideration, or maybe subtract it or something like that, then you can do that. So it is better to mention that you know about homeschooling part also, and since you consider that to be a negligible number, that is why you are not including it. Okay, so it is always better. So yeah, so all 6 lakh people under high income category will have access to school. In mid income category, male I have considered 100%, and female, as we all know that it is a patriarchal society, and around myself only I have seen many middle income families are not sending their, their girl child to school, or even if they are sending, they are dropping out after a certain class. So yeah, what I have considered is 80% only have access to education. Now for low income, I have considered 50% uh, for male and 25% for female. The gap between male and female becoming more pronounced. Okay, and based on this, I have arrived at 9 lakh. 100% of 9 lakh is 9 lakh. 80% of 9 lakh is 7.2 lakhs, and similarly this figure, and total of 35 lakh. So 35 lakh people have access to school. Okay, so again, you can maybe question this number on many fronts. Okay, uh, so yeah, I mean, just think of variables whenever you solve a guesstimate, and let's say you want to question that this 35 lakh figure is not correct. uh, you want to question this. So whatever variable you are considering, just see that if that variable has a substantial effect on this. So if I am calculating 35 lakh, and with some variable which you are trying to introduce, this number is highly varying. So let's say it is becoming 15 lakh or 20 lakh. So there is a huge gap. But if by considering a different variable, if this 35 lakh figure is only changing to, let's say, 32 lakh, 33 lakh, then no need to get into that much detail. Okay, so it will also save you time and will help you to be on track, I mean, to show the structure as such. Okay, so yeah, we have arrived at this 35 lakh figure. Now, yeah, so in this equation, what we have calculated is number of students going to school. Now the second part which we need to consider is average number of student, which we need to calculate is average number of students per school. uh, yes, so to calculate this, if I write a top level formula, what do I need? I need total classes in a school, total students per class, and number of sections. So for each class standard, there are several number of sections in a school. So I am from a school from Delhi, Army Public School Dholakua. I think there were 9 or 10 sections, and then I've also studied in Jammu, where there were only 2 sections. So yeah, this also varies. So we need to take an assumption that what will be the average number of sections in a school, and we'll go ahead with it. Okay. And also I have taken some more assumptions to make it more simplistic. So if you see here, what I have done is all school have equal number of students. This I have considered. Now you can stop me here, and you can maybe argue that there are some schools which are very small. There are some schools which only have till 5 or 6 standards. There are some schools which are very big. Very big when I say they have huge volume of students. So they have 10 or 14 at least 1 to 12 classes, and they have 6 to 7 sections or something like that. So agreed. uh, but again, first keep it simplistic. Mention the variables to your interviewer. If he or she wants you to consider all those, then only consider it. Do not go on considering many variables, because it first of all it throws off your structure. Although it shows that you show attention to details, but the interviewer also needs to understand what you are calculating. Okay. So just keep checking up with him. If he or she says that yes, consider it, then do consider it. And if he or she says that no, move on, just take an average figure and move on. Then keep it simplistic. That is the whole idea. Okay. Yeah, so all school have equal number of students. Second is, for every school, what I've considered is that they have 1 to 12 classes plus 2 primary classes. Okay, so 14 classes, total 14 classes. Okay, yeah. So now, if we use this formula, so total classes in a school, I've considered this to be equal in all the schools. Second is, I should put it as average, otherwise, uh, yeah, you might question it. So yeah, here also I'll just put it average. Okay, so this at least look more politically correct. So okay, so I have considered 14 classes in a school, 40 people. So this 40 figure, from where it has come? Uh, this has come from my personal experience. So I have also gone through schooling, and I have done my schooling for. I mean, uh, I have visited. I have attended schooling in 4 or 5 school in different states. So yes, I have a pretty good experience. So it has ranged from 35 to 50. So 40 is a good enough figure. You may provide some other reasoning and take this figure according to you. So yeah, average student per class 40, and average number of section is 3. This gives us 1680 students per school. And for calculation purpose, we'll take 1600. This is a good enough figure. Okay. So what do we have now? We have total number of students going to school, that is 35 lakh. We have average number of students per school, that is 1600. Okay. And now all we need to do is, to calculate number of school, we just need to divide 35 lakh by 1600, and this is the figure which is coming. So you can finally conclude that there are around 2000 schools in Mumbai. Okay. Now, once you arrive at this figure, what you have done is, you have first calculated that how many eligible people are there to go to school, and to serve those people, you have assumed that there is going to be a school. So based on the demand, you have calculated that how many schools should be there, right? To do a sanity check, uh, many people try to arrive at the number of school from some or the other way also. Okay, so here what we can do is just a suggestion. I mean, you can do this uh, as you practice guesstimates. What you can do is, try to arrive at the number of school in Mumbai, considering the area of Mumbai, and per how much area how many schools should be there. something like that. Okay, and just see if it is falling in same range. I mean, same ballpark figure. Not it doesn't have to be very exact, but something like this. Okay, so that is called a sanity check. And if you have time at hand while giving the interview, and you are if you are pretty confident that you also have one more way to calculate number of schools, then you may propose to the interviewer that should I do a quick sanity check by calculating through some other method. Okay, now that might turn to be a cobra move if you do not have any other method, and then you yourself are saying that okay, I'm going to calculate from other method, and then interview says yes, and then you go blank. So don't do like that. So as you go on practicing more guesstimates, you'll always have one or two methods to solve the same problem. Okay, so yeah, this was it. I hope this will be of help, and we can close it here. So maybe I'll meet you in some 15-20 days again. Okay, bye.